Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Detail. He would walk in on cue, right? That's like the gist of this particular podcast. It's about evolving. It's about the new things we got coming up next. To just the really dope ideas.
That's there my life, Doc.
Oh man, I was just now giving you. I don't know if you caught the my intro at
I
all.
did. I did.
Okay. All right, cool, cool. There you
I
are. I see
appreciate it.
you. I see you. You are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Christopher Ramsey, aka
My people.
yeah, is real.
First, let
What's
me.
up, brother? Talk to us,
Well,
man. What's on your mind? How's your day? How's your family? What's going on with you, real quick, before we jump into what we need to jump into?
first, let me say I love you, man. I appreciate the not just kind words, but the thoughtful remarks. It means a lot to me because you know how I feel about you. You're one of my closest comrades, and to be regarded in this life by good men is a testament to me. And I'm just humbled by the fact that a good man like yourself sees something of value in me. Uh, and I want to say I love you to everybody who's watching or who will watch in the future. In case you haven't heard it, in case it hadn't been spoken into your life, I love you. You are loved. You are valued. And I'm grateful that we get to share this moment. I heard some gravity in your voice, Doc. I was wondering what you've been thinking. I heard gravity and a bit of somberness. I said, "What's my brother been on, man?"
Yeah, man. Everything, I don't know, bro. It's just like in my life, every so often I get this spiritual breeze that I feel.
Mm,
It's like a spiritual breeze of like something's afoot. Like
yeah.
stay steady, stay like you're on to something. Like what's the word I want to use? Harness what's happening. You know what I mean?
Harness. Yes.
Yes,
Bring together.
yes,
You
yes.
know what you're on. You know what you're on to.
Talk to me.
You. See, when we walk in self-awareness and the knowledge of self, things become so much clearer, so much easier. Because really, the ultimate objective is to understand oneself,
Mm.
to not be confused about their own being. All the events of our lives, the circumstances of our lives, and even the people in our lives reflect something back to us. They are mirrors. And when I'm standing in the mirror, I'm not standing in the mirror to get a good idea of who Joe Biden is. I'm looking in the mirror to get a good idea of who I am. I'm
Jesus, boy.
always working.
Chris, hold up, slow down, slow down, slow. Because I knew this was going to happen, if you will.
Yeah, if I may.
Listen, I don't want to stop your flow, but I do want to just for a second. I want you to repeat what you just said, man. You say you're not looking in the mirror to see who the leader of this country is going to come save us.
Mm,
Supposedly, I'm looking at self because
yes,
cause what I gather from you is you the president of your household and your outcome, and your evolution, one way or another.
this is correct. This is correct. And that responsibility must not be taken lightly. When we have in our case children, wives, uh, members of our community, sometimes employees, clients that are counting on us to have integrity, counting on us to make wise decisions, to not be easily rattled, uh, to not respond hastily in crisis, but to be balanced and to be poised and to approach situations with a level of gravity. The one person that cannot be unsure about my abilities is myself.
Hmm.
If I'm expecting people to count on me and to trust me and depend on me in big moments,
Hmm.
one of the things that people are looking for is confidence. Am I shaking? Does he seem rattled? Does he feel up to the moment? And we're in a very important time, in my opinion. There's great opportunity now, and if each of us would take some time, more time than we do examining others, but taking as much time as we spend examining others, examining ourselves, spending time in self-reflection and personal contemplation, identifying areas in our own lives where we can take personal responsibility. When we examine our own character defects and find ways to evolve ourselves, we'll add value to our marriages, value to our relationship with our children, value in our communities. It's never a waste of time to work on me, my friend.
What's Chris? Sorry to interrupt you. What real quick? What are like just three basic things
Mm-hmm.
that a brother could do or a sister, because I feel like I want us to like really harp on our men because our sisters are on it. The women are on it. They've been on it. And I feel like we need to step our game up. What are like a few things off the top of your mind that one could implement or start or practice to realize to have self-awareness and to be able to, you know, do these things that you speak of?
There are three things that a person can implement right now. I've spent a lot of time. My wife and I have spent some time to ourselves. Pardon me, brother. Thinking about the core values of our family. And we've gotten it down to these three things. One is trust God.
Trust God.
Second, trust God. I want to keep it very simple. Trust God, meaning I cannot be uh, my own. How can I say it? That every man must respond to that God call within himself and realize he is fathered by the creator of the universe.
Mm.
And therefore he must humble himself and approach his father the same way our sons approach us, with a listening ear, with an intention to model his behavior, with an intention to make him proud. I should wake up in the morning saying, God, one of my objectives today is to make you proud,
Mm.
to represent you well. That's number one. Trust God. That means eliminate fear, trust the wisdom of the creator. Number two, live with integrity. Keep your word. Do what you say you're going to do,
Mm.
or be quiet,
Mm.
or be quiet. Do not speak unless the intention is to follow through on what you say, and move heaven and earth to do it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The brother just said, do not speak if you don't have the intentions to do what you said you was gonna do. Did I say that correctly? I might be
Yes.
paraphrasing. Can you speak on that just a little bit more? Because I know folks don't understand how powerful words are, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you say, let's just say just for self, when you say, hey, tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up and work out. I'm gonna go for a walk. Then tomorrow morning comes and you decide to just sleep in. Like, and then you wonder why you woke up on the bad side of the bed, on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you feel
Why
what I'm
we
talk
yeah,
to me?
or why we went. See, when I don't keep my word, I dishonor myself.
Mm,
And when I dishonor myself, I deplete my natural energy to perform at
mm.
high levels because I don't trust myself. That's very
Wow,
important, brother. That's very important.
that's
Every time I don't keep my word, it's like it eats away small pieces of my soul.
mm.
That's true for an individual, whether they know it or not. They lose confidence in themselves. Their self-esteem goes down because they bring themselves out of alignment.
Christopher. To take it a step further, not only does it do you like that, your circle. And
Exactly.
this is a great segue into, you know, this episode, and what I want to get to is, you being the sum of your circles, basically. You
Mm.
know, and so when you don't keep your own word to yourself, what does that say to your wife? What does that say to your friends? You know what I mean? Like
I do, because I've
you
lived
want your,
that life.
you know, you want your wife to get off your ass about shit, but you not even doing the things you said you was gonna do for you. You don't
Yeah.
trust you. How is she supposed to trust you? How is your circle supposed to trust you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do?
How can we win?
Exactly.
How can
Woo,
we
man, I need
win?
some bombs. I need some sound
How
effects
can
for
we
this.
win? Let's
For
talk.
real.
Let's talk practically. Okay, I'm the
Okay.
quarterback on the team,
All right.
and I call a huddle. A huddle is when all the offensive players get together in a circle. All of the offensive players get together in a circle, and I say we're getting ready to go for a Hail Mary. I'm throwing the ball down the field,
All
but
right.
I know in my mind I'm getting ready to try to hand this ball off, and I don't communicate that to nobody.
Ah.
I know I'm gonna try to hand it off. Who benefits from that? My opposition. Who benefits from that lack of coordination? Who benefits from us not being organized and harmonious? My opposition benefits. Now look what happens when I say break. My whole team is counting on me to be a leader, my brother. My whole team is counting on me to throw the Hail Mary. They lined up in formation. In practice, we ran that play. Everybody knows exactly where
We
to
done
be.
ran it over and over again.
In practice. Now here it is game time. I say, hut. Everybody takes off down the field, and I turn my back and I put the ball behind me, and ain't nobody there. Defense breaks through, tackles me. You get the point, brethren. The reason why we have to communicate with our circle and keep our word is because we're trying to win. And anybody trying to win understands that lies interfere with our progress. Yes. Anybody who's trying to win understands we must be on the same page. The team must be cohesive. The team must have good communication. And, you know, me and Babe always exchange a quote from Brenner Brown that says, clarity is kindness. If I'm really kind to a person, I'll be clear with them. I'll keep my word to them.
Speak on this. I wrote something down. I was like, true friends hold you accountable. I was like, you got to stop bringing friends with you that ain't with you.
Keep space. I said this to one of my clients many years ago. I said, share space with those that can keep pace.
Ooh.
You don't have to worry about who need to be in your life or not. If I channel my energy into my goals and I go at them fervently, I go at them with all of my heart, and I go at them with a consistent clip. I'm working hard at it every day, being fully invested. The people that can't keep up with me will naturally fall away. What I must resist the temptation to do is, as people start showing that they can't keep up, reach back for them. Or start slowing my pace down. No. Maintain momentum. If they meant to be in my life, they'll keep up.
Man, that's powerful, Ram.
We'll have to spend less time, my brother, trying to identify who's supposed to be in my life and not work hard. You'll see who's supposed to be there. Invest your time and energy in your goals.
I know 4K Dave's supposed to be there.
Yeah, he can keep up. See what I'm saying, brethren? 4K Dave can keep pace with you. You called an impromptu play. You call an audible and said we going podcast on Sunday at 6:00. I need 4K Dave, baby. I need you to be ready, baby. And he showed up ready to work. He can keep pace. Facts. Therefore, you share space.
Facts. And he's not there just to cause he's there. He's there and going the extra mile, thinking of things that you didn't even think of.
Yes. And and the flip side of that is, big dog, you can keep pace with him. You might be in front of the camera, but that don't mean he don't have his own ambitions. This is a dream for him. This goes also back to what you were saying about the people we bring into our camp. We must bring people into our camp that we are complementary with, who our goal and their goal serves one another.
Man, you preaching, man. That brings me to the next little quote I got. I was like, you treat yourself. I said, you cheat as in cheating. You cheat yourself out of your dreams when you hang around people who can't help you obtain your dreams. What do you think about that, Ram?
Say it again, brother. I want to take it all in.
I said, you cheat yourself out of your dreams when you hang around those who can't even help you obtain those dreams.
There is truth to that. But I would leave that where it is. It's a profound quote that speaks truth, and I don't want to interfere with its power. It makes the point very clear. When an individual sets a high mark, but I guess a good example again is we lean back on sports. If I got my sights set on a championship, and I'm in the gym first thing in the morning, 3:00, the sun not even up. I beat the sun up. I told the sun good morning. I'm working so hard. I told the sun good morning. You see what I'm saying? I'm working hard. I'm dedicated. I'm focused. But my teammates are bringing in Happy Meals, double cheeseburgers, 4 for 4s,
Mm.
pizzas. They work out 2 days a week.
I'm sorry, Kid Folk. As you said that, 4K Dave back there biting on a slice of pizza, dog. It was two.
He
It was.
pull, he pull
It
out
was
that
two.
meat
It was
lovers.
two in the moment.
Yeah. He pull out that meat lovers. And they
Hard.
you know what I'm saying? They're hot and ready, pretzel crust. But
Right.
I'm modifying my diet, like my boy Calvin said. I'm eating avocado ice cream. I'm consuming a certain amount of calories, but my teammates are not showing up to practice and they're eating whatever they want to.
Mm.
It doesn't matter how bad I want to win a championship when I'm playing a team sport and my team ain't dedicated. I'm going to lose.
Mm.
And I should always, here again, I should always have a dream so big it requires a team.
Mm. But can you say your team is your fault?
I'm always responsible for the people that I bring in my life, even if it's family.
Mm.
Because I can
Mm.
choose that. I can choose who I share time and energy with. I'm always responsible for what I can choose. Very important. I'm always responsible for what I can choose and what I can exert control over. I'm responsible for that.
Mm.
Anything in my sphere of influence, I'm responsible for. At least that's the way I like to live my life. I don't like to let myself off the hook for much.
I like where you're going with that, brother. Um, can you speak to the importance of goals, man? Like,
Mm.
as black men, um, we we sometimes fall short of these things, man, because we have been culturally conditioned or set up, if you will, to essentially hit brick walls. Those brick walls have been set in place. They are there. They have worked for the opposition. And we continuously run face first into these things because it speaks to, the reason why we're even speaking today, because brothers don't know that they don't know. And so I think goals and things of that nature are imperative and to one's growth, learning how to work towards something,
Yes.
staying disciplined, setting your mind to something and then achieving that thing, um, and work, just how great it is to work towards something and accomplish that no matter what's in the way.
Yeah,
And
true. Then there's a behavioral psychologist named Jordan Peterson. He's often in controversy because of some of his political stance, but he said something on the I think it's Joe Rogan podcast that I think is relevant to this point. And that is we should aim lower with our goals.
wow. Okay.
He said we there's nothing wrong with setting high goals and having high ideals. That's very important, but we must not we must not ignore the smaller steps that are actually within our control and within our power to follow through on. For instance, as a community, yes, we have to do something about let's say wayward youth,
Hmm.
violence among young African American males. That is a very important goal. And one thing that I can do to help achieve that goal is make sure that I'm spending ample time with the two black boys that live in my house.
Hmm.
Right?
Talk to me.
I
Talk to
can
me.
I can I can go into their bedroom right now and have a meaningful conversation with him and invite myself into their interest and make myself available to them for conversation and dialogue, for friendship and camaraderie. Right? I, it is very important for us not to overlook the goals that we can attain that are important steps along the way, lest we become overwhelmed by the loftiness of that larger goal and look at ourselves as inadequate and step away from the plate.
Ooh, you said
So
a lot. That was
before
a mouthful. That was you said a lot.
before I go about trying to clean up the streets of Little Rock, Arkansas, I need to clean my dishes
Mm.
because that I can control.
Mm. Make your
Before I
bed.
try to clean up political messes, I need to clean up the mess in my bathroom. Now we want to trivialize those important steps, don't we, brother? We want to
Yeah.
say, no, that's not important. There's
Hmm.
bigger fish to fry in the world. I disagree. Because if I clean up my living room, I'll be more inclined to invite somebody over for a dialogue. But so long as I got baby toys and old shoes and socks on the couch, I can't invite somebody who doesn't understand my perspective over for a cup of coffee and a donut so we can have a real meaningful conversation. You see, we have to attend to the things we do have the power to control. We cannot mismanage. We cannot mismanage our energy. We cannot mismanage our time. These are very valuable resources, energy.
And we also,
time.
sorry to cut you off, Chris, and we also can't use our purpose or mission or the things that we got going on as an excuse to whereas while we not doing those little things, because it's the little things that fuck up shit.
Exactly. Every time. That's how we arrive at big. That's how we arrive at big societal problems like we want to tackle. Because we kept ignoring the fundamentals. We kept ignoring the basics. We kept ignoring the most important part. I don't care if I have a Bentley brand new off the lot. If just one of the lug nuts is loose on the tire, I'm doomed for an accident. Now the lug nut don't have anything to do with the motor, don't have nothing to do with the transmission, don't have nothing to do with the radiator. It's tucked away underneath a beautiful rim. But if it's loose and I don't tighten it, I'm in trouble.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were. Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Keep going. You know I can go on and on. You got to cut me off, big dog. We got to learn to converse on this thing, because I'll be running my mouth all day like a water faucet.
Listen, I'm here for all the Chris Ramsey smoke, man. Listen, man. You know how long I've been trying to get this thing going, man. Me and 4K Dave been in here for about 4 months trying to figure this thing out, man. And we here. Everything is time.
That reminds me of something I've always admired about you, and I want to ask you about, because you'll send me a text message. You say, Chris, I'm working on some, I'm working on some new technology that I think can get you on the podcast. Are you available tonight? You see what I'm saying? What I've always appreciated about you, and I think if you'll share a little bit of your insight on this, it might help myself and those who might tune in now or later. Why is it so important for you to act now and not postpone?
Well, that's a very good question, Chris. And sometimes I don't know if it gets me in trouble or what. But the simple answer is that's all we have. All we have is now. Period. And my inner deepest thought or feeling or vibration is the only thing we have in this whole entire world, in our existence, in time, whatever the case may be, is now. Tomorrow don't exist. Yesterday don't exist. And tomorrow will only be important, or will only matter because it'll be the now. And so I try to operate in the now like 90% of my juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets me in trouble because like my wife will like, yo, I just told you about this yesterday. But my mind is fixated or programmed, or it works in a way and such that when information comes in, I'm like, how does that apply to now? You know what I'm saying? And my mind is going, I'm like, so when things come to me, like the proof is in my text messages to people that I've messed with. I have a bad tendency of when a thought comes to me and then the person I need to tell it to comes to, I just text it to you. Like I might be like, Chris, can you do the podcast tonight? That's how the text message started, right? But then I go back and be like, Kenfo, how you doing today? Is everything good? Oh, the white. Yeah, this is like after the fact. I'm like, hold up. I ain't even asked my nigga how he's doing. He could be doing anything right now. But I'm just like, I got to get it out. It's in me. I need to put it out. I got to be able to tell the universe I did my part. You know what I'm saying? I acted in the now, because I think the more we act in the now, the faster what we want to manifest comes into play. Because we're in the now. We told the universe what we want, we plan for it, and we let it go, and we're staying here. Doing what we can do right now. That's kind of, I don't know, I might have said a lot.
No, no, couple of things. Uh, I sure wish 4K Dave zoomed in on your face with the slow motion dial when you were talking about now. Talking
He
about,
just gave
I
me a
said,
thumbs up.
whoa, we need to zoom in with that slow mo on his face right there, baby. That's a classic. That's a classic snippet. Secondly, you said something that resonated with me, and you said something along the lines of just being accountable to the universe for what it's trying to push through you, what it's
Yes.
trying to introduce to the rest of us through you.
Mm.
What is it like to exist in a space, one where you feel some sense of accountability to create what's inside of you? Uh, maybe just address that question first, and then I'll see if the other one is even important after that. Just what is it like to be a human being in this world that feels some sense of accountability to the universe to create what's inside of you in the moment?
Well, that kind of it's kind of your fault. You the one. You the one when I went down to Houston to visit and gave me like a stack of like 200 papers that were just copies of some literature. It was like, here, when you get a chance,
Yes, yes.
check this shit out. And maybe
Mm,
a year went by before but I never threw it away. I already knew there was something in there for me, but I don't know what was going on with me. I was in a space and I picked up these just loose papers. It wasn't in the notebook. It wasn't in the folder. It was just like a pack of like brand new printing paper, but there was some stuff printed on it. And it just took me on this. It started the journey. You know what I mean? But back to what you were saying. I don't know, man. It's in me. I I have to like do what I must do what's inside of me, bro, because it was through me finally in my life deciding to do what I was called to do as far as the mission at the time was become a barber.
mm,
And once I tapped into that fully, you know, got my license, jumped in school, hit the ground running, and how fast I felt like I got my time back because I felt like I fucked off to my 20s. But it's almost like once I became once I just started the journey of who I'm supposed to be,
there it is, right there. Yeah.
it's like I was right on time. I didn't feel like I was 10 years behind my homies that went to college a decade ago and in their
Hmm.
careers and doing, you know what I'm saying, made these moves back then, you know. And within a few years, I know I was out of, let's say, 75% of my close circle. I know I was in the same range of making money as them, you know, and then just being a provider. So that, and and now I say all that to say this, that's when I realized how important it was for me to stay in the now, stay in my creative space. Like this is what worked for me.
Hmm.
Nothing ever happened until I tapped into me, tapped into who I saw myself as being and not what other people saw. Because I didn't grow up in a household. I grew up in a household that allowed me to explore my barbering as a kid. But they didn't say when I graduated, you ever consider, why don't you just go to barber college? That's not how they were raised. You know what I'm saying? So it
I'm with
wasn't
you. Yeah, yeah.
even you as my homie then. I was cutting your hair in 12th grade. I
True
was,
that.
what I mean? Like even the homies, they were saying it, but you know, my circle didn't put that on me. They were taught go to college, join the military, get a pension, get a 401, get retire. Do not like entrepreneurship just was not even in the vocabulary, let alone even the word was ever mentioned in my household growing up. And so
Mm,
once I took my own steps to just choose to like go my way, like I gotta do it my way. And if that don't work, well then whatever. So once I chose to go my way and bank on the gifts that were given to me and shown to me at a very young age, then I got everything that was coming to me. like damn near overnight?
Mm. There's so many valuable lessons in that. One, as a parent, I'm listening. I'm listening to those remarks, and it's reminding me to pay close attention to what comes natural to my child, where my child's interests are,
Mm.
what's pulling on my children's heart, what captures their attention and their imagination, and then nudge them in that direction. We think, but you know what? We think so. We value highly, safety and security, uh, and I understand that. Uh, but there's something to be said about trusting our instincts, what's happening on the inside of us.
We're not
And
taught that, though, Chris.
no, we're not.
We're not.
Well,
That.
we weren't. But fortunately, we've learned some important lessons, you and I. And I pray that those that are watching, if they haven't learned this important lesson, that they're taking heed. Our children are growing up in a different climate, in a different environment than you and I. I know that I've given my children the license to be who they are, which to me is the most important thing. Less focus on what
Hey,
you will, less focus on what they will do, more focus on who they want to be. What type of human being do they want to be in this world? What do they feel is so pressing in their soul that they can't fight it? It wants to come out. It wants to manifest. Go in that direction. I
yes.
remember my brother. I was telling this story today over dinner with my family. My brother wanted, as you remember, he was very fond of art, drawing,
Yes.
comic books,
Yes.
and telling
Shout out to that
stories.
boy Q.
Yes, Cubetron. Big Dog wanted to go to graphic design school, and my mom was like, "You need to do math. You need to do math. You're very good at math. You're gonna make money. Do the safe thing, right? Do the safe thing." And my father, before he died, he told my mom, he said, "Babe, let that boy do what he wants to do."
Mm.
But those were the words of a man on his deathbed that, having his whole life in retrospect, was able to see, don't waste that boy's time having him do something he don't want to do, because I'm getting ready to die. And he might have been thinking of the things he wanted to do.
Mm. Wow.
As he sat on his deathbed, who knows what he wanted to do, what he wanted to be, and might have sacrificed those things for a noble cause. He may have sacrificed those things for the family. I don't know. He didn't live long enough for us to have those man-to-man talks.
Mm.
But I can imagine that on his deathbed, as he listened to my mom say, do math, do math. And he's thinking, I'm getting ready to check out. I know how real this thing gets. Let that boy be who he wants to be. At
Give up.
least when he joins me, at least when he stares down death the way I had to stare it down, he can say I lived my way. With this one life I got, I did what I wanted to do. I lived the way I wanted to live, and I expressed myself fully. And we went to go visit my brother for what, Thanksgiving. What's up, champ? You all right? My son just walked in the door.
Yeah.
We went to visit my brother in Austin. He moved back down from Los Angeles and came on back down to Austin. And I went into his home. His home was beautiful. It was just so inspirational to see so much of himself in his home, from his studio to his office to his kids' room. I was so inspired, and I thought back to that story. I said, this was something that almost didn't happen.
There's a rock right by the refrigerator. Just add some pineapple juice. My bad, man.
No, 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 no.
I want to touch real quick uh on the importance of the black father in the family. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of you know misinformation out there, and it's on purpose. The black man is not in the household or whatever. But a lot of times, just because the black man is not married to the mom of the baby, that don't mean he's not there for that child or children.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely a what's the word I'm looking for? Not agenda, but they're putting out this rhetoric about us. It just simply isn't true. But I just want you to speak on the value and the importance of, even if you didn't have a dad growing up, that should more or less be in more of an more of an motivation to be a great father versus do what was done to you, and just how
Mm-hmm.
important that is this day and age. You having boys, I got 3 boys, a daughter. You know, all of our partners got kids for the most part. Like, thank you, brother. Um, just I really want to harp on that because, like, I really admire the way you father. I
Thank you,
literally
brother.
took a page out of your book when I went to your home and I saw that erase board, a white erase board that had
Ah, yeah.
a list of things on there that you and your family just kind of walk by. I mean, live by, and it's there to in plain sight for everybody to walk by every day. And I took a picture of that, and I wrote those same laws or mantras, if you will, on a white erase board in my home, and I add a little some, made it more, made it us, but I got 99.9% of that from what I read and how I was touched when I walked by in your home. And it just
Mm-hmm.
spoke to me as just man, that's some real dad shit right there. That's some real family oriented core type vibes that I want to see vibrating in my household.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say thank you. I think the father bears the same responsibilities
Mm.
as
Okay.
it's good stuff right there. It woke you up.
Yeah, nah, my boy, I have my
Hey, boy,
man.
ain't playing.
4K day, he go 4K on everything. That drink is an HD, nigga. I feel you, baby.
Nah,
He don't even
the,
drink no more, so he. Anyway, continue.
but you don't lose the abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't lose the abilities, dog. It's measurements, baby. It's measurements.
right.
You understand the measurement. The father is to the family what the son is to the earth.
Mm,
We
man,
set
hold
the
up.
we set the climate. We make it possible for things to grow. The mother provides the rich soil, the stream, the river, the nutrients, the vitamins. She provides these things where things can grow, but we provide the energy. And by energy, I mean we determine the culture in the home.
Mm,
We determine the standards. If we're doing an effective job, we determine the culture, right? We determine the standards, the values, the energy, the vibration in the home. We have the responsibility to set those, right? The identity of the family is so much wrapped in the identity of the father, who he believes himself to be, infuses its way into the family psychology, right? And so the man in the home, the father, even from a distance, as you mentioned, he may not be in the home, but he still has that opportunity to create a certain environment for his children. As I look around my house now, I'll give you some examples. I told you me and my wife came up with 3 core values: trust God, live with integrity, and honor relationships. We just didn't keep that a secret in the home. We went and put it up on a post. We got it engraved in things. We got the Ramsey name on shower curtains. We got the Ramsey name on noodles on top of the stove. There's one Bible verse, Romans 10 and 11, that has been the fundamental scripture for the family, and all of my children know these things. I remember New Year's Eve 2020. I said, I got $50 for the first child that can recite back to me the 3 core values of our family. And they got into, and my phone went to beeping, boop, 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 boop. What I was most proud about is what we've built, the mechanics of this family, what we built this family on is not some secret that me and the mother have. It's something that my children understand. So when it's their turn to build their family, you see how the father is also responsible for legacy.
mm.
So when Kelton or Caden or Kadisha start their family, they understand you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are 3 core values that if you build your family around: trust God, live with integrity, and honor relationships, you will win.
Trust God, live with integrity, and honor
Honor
relationships.
relationships.
Man.
Do those three things and you'll find success. Your family will have doors open for them that money can't open because of those relationships that you've been able to garner for yourself. Live with integrity will increase the amount of resources that come into your house, because people love to be around those that value their word. Right? Trust God. Live by principle. They know that I can call any of them in here and they can say that. But I wasn't just kind of accidentally leading. I knew that I had to be purposeful in my leadership. Right? I knew that the culture was up to me. The energy is up to me. The values and the standards are up to me. So I have to sit down and think, what do I want my family to look like and feel like, and how I want my family to move, and the type of decisions I want our family to make, and the type of things I want my family to build. Put it on paper, create the family vision, build that together with my queen, and then we communicate that together to the family. And then me and my queen are a unified front. Right? We are on the same page. Right. And now we have effectively done what businesses do all the time. Businesses have core values. Businesses have a mission statement.
Yep.
They have guiding principles. And so we say the Ramsey way, which is what we call it, is like a business. I have to be the CEO in my home.
The Ramsey way. I like it.
The Ramsey way. It's a real thing. Governed by Romans 10 and 11, guided by those three values. Right? All of my children, including my wife and I, we have creeds. Right? We took the time out to write these things down, to build a culture in our home. Like, we can't be accidental and haphazard. I think one of the things you told me we were going to talk about was the law of intention, or the law of attention. But still, it's very important to note, we must be intentional. We can't be reactionary. We must be creative.
Man, kinfolk, that's one of my laws in my household. My kids will tell you, it's never react, respond.
Mm-hmm.
To react is an unthought response to something. But if you just take a second or two just to think about how you want to respond to the situation, man, there's volumes to how that will change your outcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I respond based on what I want to create. I'm always thinking creatively, and I know exactly what I want to create, whether in the workplace or in my relationships with other people or in the world. I have taken the time, and I encourage every man to do the same. Take the time to think about who you want to be in this world and what you want to create in this world.
Too many times we know what we want, right? We know what it looks like in a perfect world, right? But we are not in tune with ourselves in the now, if you will. When things happen, we just react. How can people practice? What are our tools or something someone can do to help them be mindful in those moments? Because 4K Dave, he's not on the mic right now. But when we were responding to that earlier, first thing out of his mouth was being mindful. And I know mindful is like a catchphrase these days, but it really is a thing. Like, to be mindful, to essentially be the guy or be the eyes watching your thoughts. Being able to say, do I want to say that? If you got the time, you make time to say to yourself, do I want to say that? You are doing you're light years ahead of the individual that don't how to understand how to not speak the first thing that comes to your mind.
That's right. We talked about this once before, and that the difference between the word reactive and creative are spelled with the same letters. It's just that in the word creative, the C is in front, and that C represents consciousness. I must lead with consciousness.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah. If I lead, yeah. I'm right where y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm right where y'all. If I lead with consciousness, that means I'm leading with mindfulness, and I'm being mindful.
Lead with consciousness.
Lead with consciousness, which means awareness. Just to make it very accessible. Mindfulness means to be aware, right? To be aware, to be awoke in the moment, to bring my senses to bear, all of them in the moment, and to look around, to listen, to taste, to see, to touch, to realize that
Take a
I'm
minute.
alive in a very special moment. What's up, brother?
To also take a minute.
To take a minute to pause, to give yourself the gift of time to create, right? I have to, the reason why I'm taking my time, because I don't want life to decide my outcomes. I want to decide my outcomes.
Man.
So I don't just respond. I think, what do I want right now? How do I want this to go? How do I want this to feel?
How do you
How
get
do I
what
want
you
this to
want?
end?
How do you get what you want to supersede how you are feeling in the moment? Because boys got to understand, men got to understand, feelings come and go. You know,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
and the prime example is, look at your lady. She feel like this right now, and right now what she said, that's her truth. But her truth might change in 5 minutes because you know women operate in the now. So how do you discipline yourself or become more mindful of that very thing?
You just hit it right on the head. See, we want it to be deeper than it is, but it's really just that simple. Brothers got to be disciplined.
Mm, elaborate
And
on
I'm
the
sorry,
word
the new
discipline.
let me give a news flash to all of my brothers that are watching, that are giving themselves the excuse for complacency, waiting on some light bulb to go off in their mind. Discipline yourself. Tell yourself no. Stop rationalizing. Stop making decisions based on feelings. The way to stop making decisions based on feelings is to stop making decisions based on feelings and make decisions based on my goals. Make decisions based on what you're trying to create. Your feelings will line up eventually. It's very important.
Man,
We
hold
can't
up.
we can't sugarfoot with these boys nowadays now, because
Chris,
they
you said
want
something.
they
Chris, hold up. I'm sorry to cut you off. You said something. You said your feelings will align eventually, which is so
they
imperative
will.
and so truthful because in the beginning of making change, yeah, it's not gonna feel right because you're not getting that instant gratification or that that shortcoming. You know what I mean? So, but once it's in there, once you start to practice thinking different and operating different and being mindful of your perspective on how you respond to things, then you start to see, aha, this feels good. Now I'm actually getting the outcome I actually wanted from the jump because I wasn't swayed by my feelings in the moment.
Feelings were never meant to be in charge. The feelings
Mm.
are just an internal. The feelings are literally a biochemical response to an external stimuli.
That's
Feelings,
a
feelings,
biochemical response to a
yeah,
what?
to an external stimuli,
That's why
right?
you're here.
Right. Feelings are literally just biochemical reactions.
For example, give me an example of that. Like break it down in layman's terms for the guy who's like trying to Google
Like
biochemical.
if you, like if you, like if you
And we
cheating
got
on your
7 minutes,
girl,
fam.
yeah, like if you cheating on your girl and you see her reach over there for your cell phone, and you start feeling, and you start feeling something, don't you? You start feeling your blood racing, you start feeling your heart beat faster, your brain begins to try to generate
Mm.
ideas and thoughts to help get you out of that moment. You begin to sweat, right? It is a biological, chemical, which means your brain is releasing chemical, is releasing the stress hormone to get you to act.
Get you to act or
Right. So
react.
or react, right? The body is having, like I said, a biochemical reaction to an external stimuli, but that doesn't mean it's in control. That's your body trying to help. Right? Your body's like, oh,
Fight
you
or
in trouble.
flight.
Let me get right, fight or flight. Your body's
What's
like,
the
we got to
fastest
do
way
something.
out?
And so we have to learn. So we'll do ourselves a favor to take a moment, like you said, feel what we're experiencing, right? Take a moment, feel what you're experiencing, and then allow truth to influence the decision.
Mm.
Right? I
That's,
created this moment. I created this moment.
that's responsibility.
That's personal responsibility. So
Mm.
if she picks up that phone, this is another level right there. If she picks up that phone and she realizes that I've been cheating, good for her and good for me, because truth is freedom.
Mm.
That's now
That's
that's a
heavy.
tough pill to swallow, brother.
So
Don't
yeah, boy, you hit it on the
don't
head right
don't.
there. That's a tough because, but everything forward is real.
I know it's hard. I know my brother's gonna watch this later. The mind's gonna rationalize and try to give him an out. But there's freedom and truth. It's best to just embrace the truth. Slow down, as you mentioned earlier. If we're being mindful in the moment, slow down. Slow the autonomic nervous system down. Slow the emotions of the body down. Let them quiet and say, I created this. Using that particular scenario, I created this moment. And so if the truth wants to come out in this moment, let me calm down. And
Mm.
let me be willing to face this, because the truth is ultimately going to be good for both me and her.
Yeah,
Now
because
that's
right now,
grown man stuff.
kinfolk,
That's living
sorry
with
to
it. That's
interrupt
living
again.
with integrity.
Kinfolk, but right now, when boys is facing this particular moment, I only know we got a few minutes left, but the ego has officially kicked in full fledged above and beyond.
Ooh, I got a lot to say about that. The, there's
Let's
because
go.
we've got to spend some time talking about the ego and its relationship to the subconscious, which is basically those core beliefs that the subconscious, pardon me, the subconscious uh, controls the autonomic nervous system, meaning the automatic responses that are driven by core beliefs that we have accepted as truth. So the ego draws its identity from the subconscious. I know that we got to unpack that thing. But nonetheless, even if the ego arises, even if a person experiences fear, it does not matter. Take the time, pause, feel the feelings that you're experiencing in the moment, and then make a decision to choose based on truth, not fear.
Mm.
Truth. The truth will always free us. The subconscious mind teaches us to be
Fear is so
afraid of the truth.
strong. Fear is like the strongest energy down there.
Well, the subconscious mind is designed to help keep us the
It's,
same.
kinfolk, especially when you convince yourself that the fear is due to you protecting somebody, which is heavily embedded in the black community, hiding truth, thinking that we're protecting somebody.
Yeah, we're never
Speak to that.
protecting.
Can you
Yeah,
speak to
we're never protecting people that we lie to. Remember, clarity is kindness, and truth gives people the information they need to make a good decision about their own lives. And people who I keep truth away from are people who I'm trying to control, because I know that if I give them the truth, they might want to move away from me. So I got to keep them in the dark.
that?
Truth gives the people in my life the opportunity to make a good decision for themselves. And if I really love them, I'll give them the truth, whether in the community or my children or my wife in my home or you, my brother. I got to give you the truth so you can make a good decision for you. And if that means you say, I got to part ways with you, fine. If that means I got to pull closer to you, that's great too. But truth is the number one freeing agent. And if we are concerned with liberating anybody, we know that goes through the door of truth.
Mm. Hold up, man. You try. Yes, give me say, boy, and we just getting started. We just did about
Just
three,
getting
four,
started, brother.
five podcasts in one right now, as far as subject wise go. But I'm glad because Chris, what you saying tonight, a lot of times, like we think some of the things that we're saying, it's it's for somebody else,
It's for
and
us.
sometimes the very thing that we be preaching or spewing, be for us, be for self. And I'm just gonna go on a record and say tonight, it's about three or four things that you said that I want to just go out there and just say it. Like I needed to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And like, I appreciate you being, or you allowing truth to speak through you, because I
Thank you,
just
my
want
brother.
that to be very, like, just know when you tap into what, to this platform that we're creating, that we've had for over for decades, that boys can be inspired to hear what's right, even if it ain't what you want to hear. It's truth, and it's coming from, you know, a higher place, not higher than you, but just higher than us.
Mm-hmm.
And and I just want this to be a place that brothers can chime in and just fill up for the week. You know what I'm saying? And before we sign out, um, first of all, thank you so much for blessing me
My
with your
pleasure.
time. I know you're a busy man, um, and for being my friend. I love you.
I
Like,
love you too, my brother.
and I know it ain't nothing a brother wouldn't do. Um, but is there
You've
anything,
proven that.
for sure, man? Is there anything that you want to leave on the table? We got like 4 minutes. Is that right, Dave? What about a hot 4 minutes? Because I mean, I just, this is episode one of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Oh,
you know, this fight has come to fruition, and it's the first one. So I just want to set the tone for what's to evolve, and I'm gonna just like, I want you to leave. You got the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the show, fam. We got the music playing. It's on you, man. I don't know if you want to tell us about the book that's coming out. I don't even know if I was going to say that, but
well, I'm still in the process of, working through in my mind what direction I wanted to take. It keeps morphing as I evolve, uh, which is okay with me because I want it to be a one-hitter quitter. That one book that says it all and says it right. And when you put it down, you say, God, dog, second to the Bible, that's the one I need.
mm,
So it's taken me some time to work on the book, but as you know, it's going to be called B. But I want to say to those who might be listening now and those who might tune in a little bit later on, it's very important to operate on those three principles that I mentioned earlier. Trust God, live with integrity, honor relationships. Relationships are the true currency. They will open up doors that money cannot open. It may be the difference between success and failure. Don't take advantage of any relationship. Live with integrity means keep your word. Do what you say you're going to do. It's high time people can count on us. I want them to be able to count on you. And then trust God. He loves you. Put the principles of spirituality in the forefront of your mind and in your heart, and let those principles guide you. You'll find success. I believe in you, and we'll be fine.
already, already, man, we'll be fine.
I can't wait to be there in person with you, big dog.
I know, man,
Soon
but this,
enough.
and listen, you're the reason I've been seeking how to get this technology going. You know what I'm saying? So you're the first to
That's
figure
real.
it out. Well, now not only 4K Dave got us tapped in 4K, but we tapped in
Okay, what's up, baby?
real time. You know what I mean? And so,
He's
yeah,
a wizard back there, man.
I appreciate your time, man. You're definitely blessed this first episode. I can't wait to the 50th or whatever the case may be. We gonna lock in a little time frame so we can be consistent with it. But it was a must we get this out. I don't care if 0 people are tuned in or 1,000 people tuned in. Once they do, it's a wrap. It's a
Real
wrap.
talk.
Tonight I feel like we learned something that we didn't know. And like I started the show off, brothers don't know that they don't know. And I feel like
Yes.
tonight they know a little bit more to get them to grow.
Think about what you're thinking about, people.
Man, that's the name of this podcast, bro. Thinking about what you think about. There it is. That might
Think
be the name
about
of
what you're
the
thinking
podcast.
about.
We still trying to come up with a name. What'd he say? I ain't hear you on that, Chris.
I ain't say nothing. I'm just jamming. I'm vibing on that beat, trying to decide if I want to freestyle for 10 seconds.
I mean, I don't know how you feel right now, but you want to welcome to grab that.
Yo, man, I'm over here rocking. Wait a minute, Doc. Tell my boy Triple B, I'm getting on that mic next time. I'm getting on that.
All right, there it is. All right,
I love y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. We're gonna get this thing scheduled on a rotation. I look forward to breaking bread with you. That's my favorite part about it. We'll let the people eavesdrop on the real men conversations we have. But I feel like it's just me and you in the room. And I'm grateful that we can have some real meaningful dialogue and go deeper, go higher, touch on subjects that challenge us and make us better. Sometimes a man needs a hug. Sometimes he needs a kick in the butt. And we're going to get a little bit of both.
Oh, make sure we're going to record that line right there. There it is. That's the first clip. Sometimes a man need a hug. Sometimes he need a kick in the butt.
Shout out that boy D Brooks, baby.
Any shout outs, man? Where can people follow you? Get at you?
I guess I gotta get up on that thing, man. I ain't got nothing but my little Facebook, man. I saw it flash on the screen. 4K Dave is so proper with it. My Facebook flashed on the screen.
You gotta go to the mountains to see this boy. You can't just.
I said I'm so glad 4K Dave know what my handle is because I don't know.
All right, man. Next week, man. Let's touch bases. I love you, man. God bless. Play it made. Say what's up.
Made. I love you, boys. 100.
Peace. Rap. Take us out? Yeah. If you're still tuning in, man, you just called me and Chris Ramsey. I'm in here with 4K Dave. We just spit some real spiritual truth stuff. Need a mind for you, something for you to think about, ponder about, meditate on. You know what I mean? If you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You take the meat, you leave the bones. That's what Mama used to always tell me. But let me get on the mic where I'm supposed to be, folks. Okay, get on me. But yeah, man, I really truly appreciate Ramsey coming through, aka Chris. Blessing this first podcast. We're still going through figuring out a name to this joint, but names don't matter, man. It's all about the vibes. And I just see this thing going bigger, and I see myself growing and evolving even more so from it, because nothing but truth and love come out this boy's mouth. Whether it's something you might feel or might not feel, it comes from a real place. Knowledge, wisdom, and knowledge of self. Tune in, Detailed Data Podcast Network. We got the live stuff, y'all. We on another level, and it's just what it is. 2021. We stepping it up. We ain't hating on nobody. We embracing everybody. You want to do a podcast, you need a photo shoot, holler at us. We want you. We only feel good if you feel good. And that's us putting our best foot forward in whatever thing you're trying to create. Holler at Ori 5 Productions. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. You know, everything that's major on iTunes. We streaming live, baby. And this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to continue to do it. And if you like what you're seeing, let us know. It's too easy to click like. And we out. Peace.